What's up, everybody? MoneyE here, back with you another edition of Unscripted Sports Show. I'm your host, MoneyE, and today we'll be talking about all different kinds of topics. You got the Final Four recap, national championship game tonight in Houston and Florida. Who would have thought that? You got Vlad Jr. signing a new contract late last night, early this morning, whatever time you got the news. You got Alexander Ovechkin right here. Wait, hold on. Sorry. Breaking the record here. You got the NHL and NBA winding down. NBA has one more week. NHL has about 10 more days. So you got all that. And what else you got? What else do I got? MLB. I'm going to do my MLB Power Rankings 15, the first week. It was from opening day until yesterday, Sunday. So I did the first full week, and I did last weekend, the first weekend. So I'll do that. No slides today. I'll probably get to start the slides maybe next week or the week after. Just been busy. What else? Got so many stuff I can't even remember right now. That it said Vlad signed a new contract, the Final Four. Wayne Gretzky NHL record break getting broken by Alex Ovechkin. He's a new NHL goal king. It's in the title. Alexander Ovechkin is a new NHL goal king. Final Four recap, national championship game preview, plus MLB recap weekend. So yeah, there's a lot to get to. Let's see, hold on. Hold on. There we go. I wanted to show this. Let's show the full screen. Hold on. Let's show this full screen. No. Anyway. Keep messing this up. So we're gonna get into the Alex Ovechkin breaking the record. Yeah. Hold on. Yesterday, Alex Ovechkin broke the record for most goals scored in a career. He broke Wayne Gretzky's record. I think he held it for almost, let me see, at least 20 years. When he Ovechkin broke the record on March 29th, 1999. He broke the record 26 years ago. And ironically, the opponent was the New York Islanders. And he broke it Yeah. So let's see. Let's get to this. I want to share this. Ovechkin broke it on April 6th, 2025, 26 years later. And he did it against the New York Islanders. Wayne Gretzky, playing for the New York Rangers, broke it against the New York Islanders on March 29th, 1999. And that would be his last goal of his NHL career. Obviously, because the record was 894. It's just ironic that both of them broke the record on against the Islanders. Both guys broke the record against the Islanders. Both guys did it in the same amount of games. Both guys broke the record in the same amount of games. 890, 1,000 with 1,487 games. It took Ovechkin to break the record. It took Wayne Gretzky the same thing. Wayne Gretzky did the same thing in the same amount of time. He broke the record. Same amount of games. They both broke the record. Same amount of games. I think that's pretty cool. Hold on, let me get that away. There you go. 1,487 games it took Wayne Gretzky to break Gordie Howe's. I think it was Gordie Howe. I want to see which Gordie Howe. Yeah. After 1,487 games over 20 seasons. 1,486 game, while Gretzky reached the mark in his 1,479th game. Okay, so never mind. I don't know why this says same amount of games. I don't know why. There's so many different things that says. It says he did it in 487. Ovechkin tied the record in his 486 game. Then Ovechkin tied Wayne Gretzky's NHL record in his 1486, and he broke it in the 479. How does he do it in 486 and then 479? Okay. Okay, so never mind. They didn't do it in the same amount of games. Gretzky did it in 1,479th game. Ovechkin has played 20 seasons. While Gretzky played for Edmonton, LA, St. Louis, and New York. Gretzky retired after 20 years of 894 games, 894 goals in 1,487 games. Gretzky broke the record. Was it Gordie? It's Gordie Howe's number 3, right? Yeah, Gordie Howe scored 801 goals. Gretzky broke that record and shattered it with 894. So Gretzky broke the record. Wait. Yeah, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, no. No. Okay, never mind. Wayne Gretzky broke the record on March 23rd, 1994. So it was almost 31 years ago. His last goal was March 29th, 1999. So Gretzky scored his 802nd goal against the Vancouver Canucks on March 23rd, 1994. Okay, so never mind. I had that wrong. He scored his 894 against the Islanders. And Ovechkin scored his 895 against the Islanders. So that's the same. He didn't break the record against the same team. So I had that wrong. I'm glad I corrected that. Yeah, so that record may never be broken again. So remove. Let's see. Let's move on. Now time for NHL Playoff update. Oh, mess that up. Hold on. No, hold on. Mess that up. Okay. So the Cup finals start April 17th. No, April 19th start the playoffs. And so right now, Edmonton has clinched. So this is updated from that. If they defeat Edmonton in any fashion on 10:30 Eastern Time, and Flames lose to the Sharks in regulation. Edmonton will clinch the playoff berth. St. Louis will clinch the playoff berth with Winnipeg defeating Winnipeg in regulation, and the Flames lose to the Sharks. On top, there are 5 games on schedule for Monday, all playoff implications. Tampa Bay at New York. Tampa Bay wrap up a 4-game road trip looking to pad their lead for second place in Atlantic. They are 2 points ahead of Florida and 4 behind the first place Maple Leafs. The Rangers trail the Canadiens by 6 points for the second wildcard in the East. The Blues in Winnipeg. The Blues look to extend their franchise record. Look to extend their franchise best 12-game winning streak and pad their lead on the wild card for the first wild card in the Western Conference. St. Louis, which can the Jets are 1 point ahead of the Washington Capitals in the President's Trophy race, 3 ahead of Dallas Stars for first place in the Central Division. The Oilers can potentially clinch a playoff berth in the finale of a 4-game road trip. They are 2-1-0, there's 4 after 3-0 loss. The Kings on Saturday, they dropped them 4 points behind for second place in the Pacific Division. Ducks have been eliminated from playoff contention. Seattle and LA, 4-game winning streak for the Kings. Move 4 points ahead of the Orioles. Oilers for second in the Pacific. They trail Vegas 5 points for first place. And have been eliminated from playoff contention. The Flames and Sharks. The Sharks are eliminated from contention. The Flames played their first 2 games in California and trailed the Wild 6 games for second in the wild card. This playoff starts today. It's Toronto versus Ottawa, Tampa Bay versus Florida. So, Battle of Canada, Eastern Canada. 2 teams from Eastern Canada. 2 teams that hate each other. Tampa Bay, Toronto and Ottawa. And then you got the Florida series in Tampa Bay and Florida. And then Washington, Montreal. And then Carolina and New Jersey. 4 interesting series, actually. And then in the West, you got Vegas versus St. Louis, LA versus Edmonton, Winnipeg versus Minnesota, and Dallas versus Colorado. About last night, there were 8 games on the schedule Sunday. We already talked about that, so yeah. That's the playoff update. Playoffs end next Thursday, next Thursday, the 17th. It's the last day for the playoffs. And we will be doing a playoff preview and predictions. Myself, Doug, Sean, and Dave will probably do it next Friday, Good Friday, next Friday, Easter weekend. So we will be predicting the playoffs, see who can get it right. Maybe we will do contest or something. I don't know. I'll talk with them. But it's something I thought about maybe doing a contest, because they do have a bracket challenge on NHL.com, so maybe we can enter that and then ask if our subscribers want to enter. They can enter. Maybe we'll do that. I'll get with them. But that's something that I thought about. So next on the docket is The Final Four. Let's take recap the Final Four. Duke lost to Houston. Duke blew a 14-point lead. I want to say they didn't score for 10 minutes. Let's see. Let's see. Houston moments epic relate to stun. Duke up 14 points with 8 minutes left, 17 left in the second half. And it ain't over because they still got time in the clock. Cougars guard LJ Cryer said after the game. Houston went on a 9-0 run in the final 35 seconds to win 70-67, shocking the Duke Blue Devils in the Alamo Dome. And to advance to the national championship game against the Florida Gators. The Gators come back, make their own comeback in the second half. They trailed at halftime against the Auburn Tigers. They made their own comeback. They were down 8 at halftime, I believe. They were down 8 at halftime. They were down 46-38 at halftime. In the second half, they were trailed. Yeah, they were down 8 at halftime. So that's the Final Four recap. My national championship prediction is, I think, when I did my Final Four predictions last week, I said it was going to be Houston and Florida. I believe I said that. If I have to go back and watch it, but I believe I said Houston, and I know I said Florida because I said Florida was going to win the national championship, and I believe I said Houston because I would never pick Duke. So I did say Florida and Houston, and I said Florida would win the national championship. I said UConn versus Texas, but Texas lost to South Carolina. But I did say UConn was going to win the national championship, and UConn won the national championship. They destroyed UCLA in the Final Four. South Carolina destroyed Texas in the Final Four game, and they met yesterday afternoon in the national championship game, and that game wasn't even close. UConn won handily and won the national championship, winning their 12th national championship, first since 2016, and they get their revenge from 3 years ago when they lost to South Carolina, and UConn lost their first ever national championship game under Gino. I think it was their first. Yeah, it was their 11th national championship game, and they lost. They were 11-0 going into that game, and now they're 11-1. They are the best women's basketball team of all time, and Gino is one of the best coaches of all time. He is so underrated as a head coach. I think he could coach in the men's. I really do. I firmly think he can actually coach in the men's. I actually think he's that good. So and yeah, that wraps up the Final Four. That's my prediction. Florida. I said Florida. I originally said Florida, but I think Houston's gonna win. I just think the veteran leadership of LJ Cryer and that veteran leadership and um, the coaching. I think the coaching will prevail. I think Houston just just all season they find ways to win. That comeback in Kansas at Allen Fieldhouse, they shouldn't have won that game. They shouldn't have won against Duke. They always found ways to win this year, and I think they prevailed tonight in a close game. I'm gonna say I'm going to say 60, 66, 61. And LG Cryer is the player of the game. So yeah, now the NBA. NBA picture. The season ends next Sunday. So as of right now, if the playoff began, it would be Kings and Mavs in one tournament game, playing game, and Wolves and Grizzlies in the other. The winner would face the Rockets, and the loser would play the winner of the Kings and Mavericks. In the West East, it would be the Wolves and Heat, and then the Magic and Hawks. The Hawks Magic winner would play the Celtics, and the Bulls and Heat winner would play the loser of the Magic Heat and Hawks. So, and then it would be Clippers and Nuggets, Warriors and Lakers. Damn. Knicks and Pistons, and Bucks and Pacers. So that's the updated playoff picture for the NBA. That's how much I want to talk about the NBA right now. Not much to say about the NBA. That's the updated seedings. Just wanted to give a quick update for that. Nothing too crazy. Now it's an MLB MLB recap. Let's see. Talk about MLB. Let's take a look at what was it, last Tuesday? Last Friday. I'll just do the weekend. Let's talk about the LA and Philadelphia series. That was a fantastic series. No. What am I doing? Wrong week. So we had a series between the Phillies and the Dodgers. Great series, great game on Friday night. Pitchers duel. You got Yamamoto and Lorenzo both pitching a duel. They both, let's take a look at the box score. The Phillies won 3-2. This game was on Apple TV. So yeah, both guys went Lorenzo went 7 innings, struck out 8, 2 walks. Yama went 6 innings, give up one run, no earned, 5 Ks. Both, it was a pitching duel. It was a great game. And then Sunday, I just messed that up. Sorry guys, I exited out of my stream by accident. Thank God it's still recording. But yeah. As I was saying, Dodgers won 3. Phillies won 3-2. Fantastic game. And then got the Giants beating the Mariners 10-9. That was a great game. I was watching that game. That was great offense all around. Diamondbacks beat Washington. Braves finally won a game and won 10-0. They shut out the Marlins. Royals beat the Orioles. The Rangers won against Tampa Bay. The Guardians beat the Angels, and the Brewers beat the Reds 3-2. And then Saturday, you got the White Sox beating the Tigers. Houston losing to the Twins 6-1. Cubs beating the Padres 7-1. Nationals winning 4-3. Dodgers beating the Phillies in another pitching duel 3-1. Yankees beat the Pirates 10-4. I think Judge it on run there. You got the Orioles beating the Royals 8-1. The Rangers won 64. Mets won 3-2 in the pitcher's duel. The Braves lost 4-0 after beating them 10-0. Reds won 11-7. They finally went off for runs. They got shut out three times, 3 straight games, 1-0, and then only scored 2, and then they finally went off and scored 11. A's won 7-4. The Cardinals Red Sox game was postponed. Doubleheader was on Sunday. Angels won against the Guardians 7-4, and Giants won 4-1. Giants have only lost one game. Giants have only lost one game. They're rolling. The Nationals beat the Diamondbacks 5-4. D-backs cost my parlay. Phillies won 8-7 in a fantastic game. That was a great ending. It was back and forth. I hope that's the NLCS because that would be a fantastic series. Both teams have great pitching. Both have great lineups. Phillies went toe to toe with the defending champions this weekend, and they proved that they are among the best. The Pirates beat the Yankees 5-4 in extra innings. So that was a walk-off hit, I think. Let's see. No, it was a walk-off. Mets won in the pitcher's duel 2-1. Tigers won 4-3. They came back in the ninth, scored 3 runs. Royals beat the Orioles 4-1. Twins won. Astros came back and won 9-7. The Reds only scored 2 runs again. So after that 11-run outburst, they scored 2 again. Brewers won 10-8-2. Padres came back and won 8-7. So you had a lot of comebacks on this Sunday. You had the Dodgers come back. You had a grand slam by Nick Castellanos. The Phillies led 6-2. Dodgers came back, tied at 6-6. Phillies took the lead. Dodgers took the lead 7-6. Phillies retake the lead 8-7-1. D-backs almost came back. You got as I said, the Astros were down 7-1. They were down 7-1 and came back to win 9-7. Padres were down. I don't know what they were down. They were down 7-3 at one after the second inning, 1-8-7. Rangers swept the Royal Rays. The Rockies won 12-5. The Giants continued to win 5-4. Angels won 6-2. The Red Sox won their first game 5-4 on a walk-off hit. And then Sunday Night Baseball, the Bats came out and smashed the Cardinals. I watched that game. That game was Parlay City for the Red Sox. If you had every guy in that lineup get a hit, you won money. You got Devers and Bregman that had 4 hits each. There was like 8 or 9 doubles, maybe even 10 doubles with the Red Sox alone. They had like 5 doubles in a row or something at one point or something. It was like crazy. It was a crazy game. It was great to watch as a Red Sox fan. The Red Sox are my second team. They're my American League team. Um, yeah, they've been my American League team since I was a kid. So for all you people that think having a second team is barbarish, who cares? They're my American League team. Before the Universal DH, I always had the two teams, one from each league. I'm gonna stick to being a Red Sox fan. I'm Phillies all the way. Phillies are my number one. But Red Sox, I've always had a soft spot for the Red Sox too. Before they won 2004. Yes, I was a fan before 2004. I was a fan in 98, 99. Same time as I was a fan of UNC and Florida Gators. That's when I really became a sports fan. Was about 98, 99. That's when I really got into sports. So that's when I chose my teams: the Gators and the UNC for basketball, Gators for football. But I do root for the Gators in basketball. I do root for UNC in football. So I am kind of rooting for Florida tonight, but I think Houston's going to take it. I like this Houston team, so I think it's going to be a great game. That game will be in about less than an hour. No, less than an hour. And then now to the power rankings. Not doing a slideshow this time. I'll probably start doing it in a couple weeks. When I have more time. So, but this week I'll be doing this again. So the Angels. I have the Angels number 15. They were not ranked in my preseason ranking, so they're 6-3. Baltimore number 14. I kept them in the top 15. They dropped 8. They were number 6 in my preseason. They're 4-6 right now, last place in the East, but I still have them. Toronto Blue Jays 5-5. They were not in my preseason top 15, but now they are. Kansas City Royals number 12. They were number 9 last week in my preseason. They're 4-5. They dropped 3 spots. Tigers, they were number 14. They move up 3 spots. So number 11. They're 5-4. Top the Central. Chicago Cubs stay at number 10. They're 7-3 this week. I mean, remember they played 2 games in Japan, so that's why they have a regular record and then the week. So they were at 7-3 the first week, and they stay at number 10. The Diamondbacks, they were number 8 last week. They're 5-5, 4th in the division. They dropped 1 spot. The Giants make it into the top 15, rightfully so. They're first place in the West at 8-1. The Red Sox, 6-4. They were number 15 last week. They move up 8 spots. They are second in the East behind the Yankees. The San Diego Padres, third in the West behind the Dodgers. They're 8-2. They move up 5 spots. Now the top 5, New York Mets, 6-4. They dropped 2 spots to number 5, and they're 6-4, second place in the division behind the Phillies. Texas Rangers lead the AL West at 8-2, and they move up 3 spots. The New York Yankees, first place in the East, but only a half game ahead of the Red Sox, 6-3, and they move up. They drop 1 spot to number 2. Number 2 team, the Phillies, I have them number 2, even though they beat the Dodgers 2-3. I still think the Dodgers are the best team, deserve to be number 1. And I said the Phillies are number 2, 7-2 this week. Move up 3 spots. I know they beat the Dodgers 3, but I think, yeah, you can make the case for number 1. But I didn't want to be too biased, so I still put Dodgers number 1. 7-2. So they say the same. Yeah. So that's my Power 15 for week 1. So Vlad Guerrero, the Toronto Blue Jays, got an extension last night, early this morning, whenever it came out. He got signed a $500 million contract extension. He has 0 home runs this season. Here it is.
There's a chance there could be a deal done between these two sides. Here we are on baseball eve. Is there a chance this could get done?
Oh, that's old. Yeah, Vlad Guerrero signed a 15-year extension. No. Yeah, here it is. The Blue Jays finally got their guys. Extend Vlad Guerrero Jr. for 14 years, $500 million. Yep. Here it is.
14 years. This fires me up. What does this mean for the Blue Jays moving forward? Good morning.
Lauren, good morning. This is a huge day for the Toronto Blue Jays, a team that, as we know, they've been courting major free agents each of the last couple of seasons, whether it was Ohtani or Soto or Burns or Sasaki. They got their man now, and he's been all Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I think a couple key points. First of all, credit to Mike Rodriguez. He was all over the reporting on this for days in advance of the actual news last night. The no deferrals is a big piece of this entire equation. I think that was probably the thing that got this over the finish line. Vlad Jr. turned 26 less than a month ago, and there you see it, more than 3 times as big as the previous record-setting deal for the Toronto Blue Jays in George Springer. So they now have their man for the long term. I think in addition to it just being the win that this front office needed, Lauren, it shifts a bit of the time horizon for the organization to win going forward. Had the Jays struggled at the deadline or struggled in the next couple months, there would have been a lot of talk about Vlad potentially getting traded in July. Now that's not going to happen. They can focus on adding and augmenting to this core. Who knows what this means for Bo Bichette? As Robert said earlier, and I'm sure you'll get to later on, it's very good news, very, very good news indeed for Kyle Tucker, who now stands as the bat available this winter. So I think for the Jays and their front office, I would expect a big and happy press conference next week once they're back home at Rogers Center, and something that Jays fans and Canadian fans overall desperately wanted to see happen.
Yep. So that's that. I was shocked by the news. I'm kind of baffled. I didn't think he was worth $500 million. Do I think he's a good player? Yeah, he's a very good player, very talented. But the fact of the matter is, he still has 0 home runs on the season. I think he's a bit overrated. I think he's a big name because of his father. Let's say it. Let's put it out. I'm gonna say it. He is a name because of his father. I don't know if he would be this big of a name if he didn't have his father, Vlad Sr., who was a fantastic player for the Angels, who played for the Montreal Expos when the Expos existed, and then he went to the Angels, and won a championship there, right? Did he win a championship there? I believe he won a championship. Did he win a championship? Shoot. He's not in the Hall of Fame yet. But his father, he lives off his father. I don't think he's good. He's very good. Don't get me wrong. He's a very good player, very, very talented. He can hit home runs. He can hit for average. But he is a big name because of his father. Jules. I believe Vlad was on this team. Oh no, Vlad wasn't on this team yet. Montreal didn't exist. He won a championship. I don't know why I didn't see his. Oh yeah, Montreal still existed. When did Montreal go away? Ah, okay, 2004. Wow, okay, that's right. It was 21 years ago. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So he got an extension. What can you do? It is what it is. I guess he deserves it. Yeah, good for him. He deserved it. I think 500 million is a lot, but who am I? I'm not a GM, so it's not my money. I'm just shocked by it, but okay. Not a plugs. Listen to us on Spotify and wait, hold on. Listen to us on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Spotify, YouTube Music. You can find us on all those platforms. Subscribe, rate on Spotify, give us a review, leave a comment. Everything Unscripted Podcast is on there. That's our main channel. I still have to update the Wrestling Through the Years channel. I'll update that soon, and then this Unscripted Sports is on Spotify too, so that will be updated by. I think I'll drop this by tonight, hopefully, and then subscribe to our channels, our main channel on Everything Unscripted Podcast Network, on the Wrestling Through the Years channel, the When Tunes Combined channel, where we do our cartoons. Saturday we'll be doing another first round matchup. It will be it will be what was it? It will be hold on. First round matchup will be Pokemon versus the Real Ghostbusters. That will be the first round matchup this Saturday at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Check that out. Subscribe to that channel, Stavcast. Subscribe to them. They'll be having an episode this Sunday too. So subscribe to that channel. Subscribe to this, and Wrestling Through the Years. This Friday we'll be doing part 2 of WrestleMania 40, night 2. So we'll be reviewing night 2 of WrestleMania 40, and that will be part 2 of the review. It will be myself, Cliff, Doug, and Daniel. So check that out this Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Wrestling Through the Years. That channel is updated right now on the episodes, and I'll update the Unscripted Sports Show channel with this episode. I might be back on Friday. I won't be back. I won't be doing the show until probably Friday. Maybe some championship recap for the basketball, some NBA playoff updates, maybe, and the playoff update. There might be an update on the playoff race. So, and then whatever happened during the week in MLB, I'll update that, and then do some MLB review. MLB preview for the weekend this week. This weekend. So check that out. For MoneyE, I'm out. Later, guys.